Yeah, I mean, we're focused across a number of different countries. What we're going to look at today, though, is specifically what we've been doing in Namibia. Um, the Namibian cohort was actually our first cohort to graduate from the Digital Educator Global Academy last year. We had a graduation ceremony in Windhoek. It was a beautiful moment, actually. It was great. It was really good to see the kind of the confidence and the delight, from our educators that went through the program and then able to take the skills out into the community, and immediately apply and practice what they've learned. So what I'm going to do now, if technology works, is hand over to our educators so we can actually hear them talk about, firstly, the challenges that they have experienced in their particular contexts, as well as what they have achieved and learnt through the digital school. Let me know if you can't see or hear anything, but you should be able to now.
One of the main challenges at the school is the internet connection. As currently I am speaking, I just borrowed a Wi-Fi pocket from one of my colleagues that I'm currently using. The school does not have internet, it does not have Wi-Fi, which sometimes make it difficult for me as a teacher to present my lesson. Last year we did a course for Digital Academy, whereby we graduated. We went in Okahanja in Namibia, where the graduation ceremony took place. It was a wonderful experience that we have gained there. During the course of the program that we did before we went for the graduation, I have learned a different aspects from the course that we did. It was really an inspiring course whereby we have engaged in different activities concerning on how to apply digital in teaching and learning. Firstly, I've gained the importance of integrating technology in the teaching and learning, especially like when it comes to lesson planning. Currently, I am no more writing my lesson plans using the handwritten. All the things are now digital. I use my laptop whereby I prepare my lessons.
Basically, our learners, since we are here close to the border, our learners are not exposed to a lot of things. Simple things that other people may see on a daily basis, our learners have never seen in their lives. So technology is one of those tools that we can bring those things or those places or those concepts closer to our learners so that our learners can see them visually and also understand them better, so that we are not just talking about abstract things, we are talking about things that actually exist. Before the course, we had a limited knowledge or understanding of which technology we can use in classes. For example, a cell phone was looked at as a distraction, but now it is something that we can actually use. If used correctly, we can use to educate our learners and show learners that this cell phone is a powerful educational tool. So those are the things that I got there. And the main thing also, again, is like my colleague said, the security on the internet. It is very important to teach our learners how the internet is not as safe as we think it is. We shouldn't give away our information and so on. So all of this is those things that we got from the course itself.
So I have quite a lot of challenges when it comes to implementing technology in the digital platforms due to lack of devices at school, and the connectivity. Also, the internet access that we are having, it's only limited, let me say limited to the admin block, whereby it doesn't reach the far classes from the admin block. So this means that whenever I want perhaps to plan something, I will have to do it at the admin block. I learned quite numerous things. For example, by that time, I was just clued to the few experience on how to use, for example, computer. But now we are using AI, chat GPT to generate a lesson plan. So we are using this. It's time consuming. Instead of me now writing the whole lesson plan, I just go to chat GPT. Chat GPT do this for me, and then now with the information that I got from chat GPT is then for me to digest it and make it more clear for me to use it to my learners.
One challenge that I've also realized, and I think maybe is one area that we are not going, that we are careful to touch, is the area of the interest in the teachers. So what I've realized is that it also doesn't serve any purpose at the end of the day, that if you have gadgets and you have all these technological tools, and teachers are not really taking advantage of this. And that is actually one of the things that I managed to do at our school here, is that mostly we had, when I arrived at the school like 2.5 years back, the age range was more of senior citizens were at school, and you know how our elders are, they are not really fond of touching these gadgets and so on. That's something that as an enthusiast, you will also learn. Learning is a lifelong process, so there's no way that we learn every day. One of the issues that I really want to highlight out today here is that I was more conditioned and capacitated by the course when it comes to asynchronous and synchronous learning, whereby we have these platforms, but how do we then ensure maximum learning, whether it's supervised or unsupervised? And that was something that I really struggled with, on how to really condition that and make sure that I have proper supervision on this. And then after the course, really, I'm so confident to carry that on, and say that I can implement at least to its full effect, if not like 100%.
And number one challenge is limited resources. Our school is a newly established primary school, and it's in the rural area. So we are lacking resources such as computers. Currently, we only have one computer, one projector, and one radio that we can use at school. When I graduated is when I realized that I can create digital content. In most of my lesson now, I can create digital content, developing PowerPoint. So I present my lesson with PowerPoint, or maybe sometimes I download some pictures. Some of the pictures in the textbooks are not clear, or sometimes the learner cannot just understand it. And so now I have time. Let me say, after that, I'm confident in creating that digital content to my learners, and sometimes downloading those short videos, integrating them in my lesson.
I just want to say thank you to our 5 educators for providing their stories for us, which we did pre-record, obviously, for connectivity reasons, but we have them here today as well. So I want to thank them personally for providing those stories to us. We saw a variety of challenges there, from infrastructural challenges, access to devices, to the kind of more nuanced challenges. I don't know if you caught Mr. Talliard's point about the fact that the digital school pedagogy model is based on moving learners towards a self-directed learning model. It's moving learners towards taking responsibility for their own learning, and how the educator becomes a facilitator in that process. And that has implications. If you're moving from a synchronous real-time teaching model to an asynchronous model, that has implications for how you manage your teaching, for how you manage your relationship with the students. So there's all kinds of nuances there to the ways in which this adaptation is manifesting itself in our classrooms. So thank you to our educators. Shafisha, I'm going to stop there because I'm aware of time constraints.
Yes.
So back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barry Kruger, and thank you also for the incredible stories of teacher agency. Really, in digital learning practice, I was particularly taken by the story and the reference to older teachers or senior citizens. I'm aware that in many education systems, there are more older teachers than younger teachers. And so very pleased that that issue came up. I know they refer to themselves sometimes as BBTs, born before technology. And so just talking about how then do we engage with teachers that believe that they are reluctant or that it's too new and they don't want to engage remains quite an enduring challenge. So thank you very much for raising some really pertinent issues there. And opening the conversation to just the kinds of things that can work and the confidence that teachers gain through teacher development programs. And I think it's on that note that we will move to the next segment, which is really focusing attention on the leaders in the teacher education and teacher professional learning systems. And so we're going to listen to the voices of these leaders in teacher education. I'm going to call onto the virtual stage Mr. Yuri Rubum, who is the Director General, Instituto Anísio Teixeira Education Secretariat of Bahia State in Brazil, as well as Ms. Nargiza Kushkarova, who is the lead specialist department for coordination of pre-service and in-service teacher education from the Ministry of Preschool and School Education in Uzbekistan. So welcome to you both, and we're very excited to hear from each of you, particularly about your respective teacher professional learning contexts, how you've experienced teachers using technologies in ways that benefit teaching and learning. We are interested especially in the aha moments that you've observed when engaging with teachers in professional learning. So without further ado, Mr. Yuri Rubum, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank you, all the UNESCO team in Paris and Brazil, for the opportunity to be here, bringing the voices of thousands of Brazilian teachers and students, including the indigenous people and the ones living in remote areas. I'm the director, as said, of the Teacher Training Institute of the Bahia government. Bahia state is the size of France. We are almost 15 million souls, but sadly, over 40% of those live in poverty. Despite our beautiful diversity and rich heritage, we face many challenges to build a better society, many regarding education. So please have in mind that everything I talk about here today is directly related to large scales. The state public education department comprises around 700,000 students and over 36,000 teachers here in Bahia. Through emancipatory Brazilian pedagogies, having the Brazilian educator and philosopher Paulo Freire as an inspiration, and I highly recommend who doesn't know him to get to know him, we offered a media information literacy teacher training as a public policy in the context of our formal basic education curricula. Aligned with the Brazilian National Media Education Strategy, we implement news agencies in schools project. The project is based on curricular media and information literacy approach for developing skills in all areas of knowledge, such as math, geography, history, biology, Portuguese language, and of course, digital skills. However, the most important aspect of this project goes way beyond development of curricular skills. It empowers teachers and students to produce media and act as change makers in their community. For the educators, it's a turnaround. Who'd ever think